Welcome, everyone. This is our vlog today on bank services for small businesses.
This vlog is set up for small business owners, and if you like this content, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about the bank services for small businesses. We're going to go into some accounts that you typically would want to set up for banking services. And then we'll also talk about the necessity of the connection with the bank and how, having the right bank set up for you can really set you up for some success in the future.
Right. Yeah. So, as a small business, you typically would start, we see this all the time, where you would just go to the bank that you do your normal banking for your personal stuff to start your small business banking. But that may not be the right fit for you, or it may not have the right services or products that you may need. So a little bit of investigation up front will go a long way.
Right.
So when we talk to clients, about this stuff, it's really just kind of what kind of banks are out there and doing some comparisons and talking to other professionals to see what their experiences are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when you're looking for the bank, you need it to be user friendly, and you have to look at what industries you're in, what services that you may potentially need going forward. So for instance, if you have an account that needs some merchant services that are attached to it, does your bank provide that? Also, we're going to go through a little bit about what accounts you typically would want to set up, and you need to make sure that either the fees or the way that the banks operate is in line with you and your industry. So some of the accounts that clients like to set up and should set up, first of all, number one is the operations account.
Right.
And this is where all the bills are going to be paid from. This is also where you potentially will receive your revenue. So that will be where all of your income and your operational expenses are in.
Yeah. So, your operating checking account, it's your bread and butter, right? So all your customer deposits and expenses will get paid out of that.
Right.
And then with that, you may want to have a second checking account just for payroll. So why would someone want to do that?
Well, to have a payroll account set up in addition to the operating, it allows you to control the money that's going to the payroll account. You would have to move the money over every time there's payroll, but it also mitigates some of the exposure that you have if you're issuing payroll checks to your employees. So I give an example to some people, like if you are running your payroll and you issue a check to an employee, that employee does not receive the check, but maybe it got lost in the mail and someone took that check and has now the bank information on the employee's check. That information could basically be replicated and fraud could happen. So when we're looking at how much money is exposed, in most instances, the money that is exposed is really only the latest paycheck run. It may not be an issue if all your employees are getting paid direct deposit, right? That may not be a problem, but it would be a problem if you are paying people with a physical check.
We see a lot of clients that have a separate payroll account besides their normal operating account. So, and it also could help with if you have an outside payroll service doing payroll. So where they're pulling money for the taxes and the employee checks, all that stuff. So
right. So the next kind of account might be a savings account.
Yep.
And a savings account is really helpful if you're looking to kind of hold money in the company for maybe some expansion of the company in some way, a capital improvement, or if you wanted to save money just for taxes, A lot of people will use a type of savings account for that.
Yeah, it's just an account to house some money for some larger expenses that may come down the road. So it kind of gets it out of your operating account, and you're stashing it away. It's for savings. Now you'll get a little bit of interest. Interest rates are very low, but you could earn some interest on that account as that money sits there.
Yeah. So then the other option is if you have maybe a little bit more significant money that you don't want to touch for a long period of time, and maybe want to invest it a little bit into the market, you could get into some investment accounts as well. We don't suggest holding a really large number of, like a lot of dollars within the company in investment. It's probably better to pull some of that out to the owners and invest it on your own. But you do have an opportunity there if you are maintaining some larger balances and need to keep it in the company.
Yeah, and not all financial institutions provide or offer investment accounts as well. So if you are looking to do that, you may want to go with a bank that does offer those kind of financial services.
Yep. So the next topic really comes down to, like, okay, you may have determined the kind of bank that you want to work with. Now it's getting a relationship with the banker or one of the bankers at the institution.
Yeah. So once you kind of decide on what bank you want to go with, having a relationship with the banker can be very helpful, because they can guide you through all the different processes for setting up accounts. And on the other side, we talked about the bank accounts, but you may also need loans, lines of credit, credit cards. So there may be other types of products that you may need on the other side of the ledger.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think having a connection with a banker can really set you up long term to excel, because if they have something new that comes out, or for instance, when there was COVID, a lot of small businesses were impacted and were able to receive some loans or PPP funds. And having a relationship with the bank that was able to provide that to you was really crucial at that time.
Yeah, because having that relationship kind of gave you an easier path or a quicker path to get your applications in, and eventually ultimately get your money.
Right. Absolutely.
From those programs.
Yeah. So one of the things that I always urge people to do is really look into these banks before they set up their account, because the difficulty to change banks midstream when you're working and operating can be very, very difficult on a small business. So I always suggest try and get a really good feel as to whether that bank's going to work for you long term, not just today, but 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. Switching banks is a nightmare, but you don't want to have to do that very often. So get comfortable with the bank up front, and hopefully it's a long-term relationship that you don't have to worry about.
Right. Yep. So today we talked about typical accounts that you would see in banking, some things to look out for, and connecting with a banker and creating that relationship. We hope that you enjoyed this vlog today. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks so much and take care.
Thank you, everyone.